Well, hi, Acadiana. Hi, friends, and welcome to your Tuesday. That song was Kevin McLeod's Just Nasty. which is kind of the way we describe our weather here in the summertime months. Just nasty. It is hot and it's humid out there this afternoon. Hopefully you're having a great day. I'm Meteorologist Dave Baker, and welcome to Let's Talk Tropics. We're going to get kind of deep dive into the tropical weather forecast, what's happening out there right now, and what could be happening a little bit later on. But again, it is a really pretty day across Acadiana, kind of breezy, but it's hot and humid out there. We do still have some big thunderstorms over North Louisiana. We'll watch those as they head southward. Those could impact us a little bit later on, but your afternoon commute, so far so good, and the roadways are nice and dry. So let's get right into it as we look at the Gulf of Mexico, and there really isn't a whole lot to talk about here over the Gulf other than we still have some agricultural type of fires, some smoke that's out here in the Bay of Campeche, and that's going to continue. Hopefully, over the next couple of days, parts of Central America are going to finally get a little bit more rain. Not necessarily the middle part of Central America, but more upwards there into southern Mexico, into Belize, as well as Guatemala. That's been incredibly dry, and they've been dealing with a lot of fires in that area. Now, we were talking about a bit of a tropical wave, still some influence from that here now on the Pacific side, which could bring some heavier rains there. And we've also got a kind of a flare-up of some thunderstorm activity that's just north of the Caribbean as well. Now, this is more of an upper-level trough. Boy, I really wish this telestrator would work better, but that is more of an upper trough. It's not down at the surface. It's generating a lot of thunderstorm activity, and it's actually part of a larger system that's generally out here in the middle part of the Atlantic Ocean, and then it kind of slides on down to around Jamaica. So there are going to be some heavy thunderstorms there, but it is not tropical in nature. You need a low pressure area to develop more at the surface, and this is more in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. The rest of the tropical Atlantic is relatively quiet. We've got another tropical wave that's now starting to enter portions of the Caribbean Sea, and then we still have a bit of a tropical wave that's over the central part of the Caribbean Sea, and then we've got a number of tropical waves that are continuing to move here over parts of the Atlantic Ocean. Nothing unusual for this time of the year. In the eastern Atlantic, though, we do have a pretty solid tropical wave that's just now come off of the African coast here. We'll watch that, but a lot of these have broken apart as they normally do during the early part of the season. There's a lot of wind shear that's out there today, especially over parts of the Gulf of Mexico. So when you have high wind shear values, you generally don't have a lot of tropical activity, but a little bit farther down here, where there's a little bit less in the way of wind shear, we're still looking at the possibility of some more thunderstorms going, but because of land and the wind shear all around it, really not expecting a whole lot of development down there. Also, if you're just joining us the first time on Let's Talk Tropics, we talk about the tropical cyclone heat potential. So when we're talking about tropical systems, we're really talking about waters at the surface that run 80 degrees or higher. The tropical cyclone heat potential product not only shows us what's going on at the surface, but how deep those warm waters go. So if a tropical system is moving over that, it wouldn't be churning up colder waters from below, it would be churning up warm water and could use that fuel to strengthen. Right now, because of the wind shear, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of development in that area, but if atmospheric conditions were better and we had something that was looking interesting in that area, that might be something we'd be watching fairly closely. And we are going to look at the models here in just a little bit, so stay with me. We're going to look at the models that might indicate something developing somewhere close to where that high heat potential is. But real quick, we'll just go over June tropical storms and hurricanes normally develop in the areas shaded in red, and the yellow arrows generally indicate their direction of movement. And one of those places that we're going to be watching over the next couple of several days here is going to be part of the western part of the Caribbean, right in there. So if we do get anything to develop in that particular region, we'll go ahead and keep a close eye on it. So the tropical weather outlook, at least for the National Hurricane Center, not showing any activity at least for the next 7 days. But let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS model. There's been some rumblings on social media about the possibility of something perhaps developing, and the models, just like we're kind of getting used to, man, we can't believe it's hot this summer when it always gets hot. We get used to the changes in the season, but the models also have to kind of adjust themselves and go, oh yeah, it's hurricane season. So sometimes they try to develop something. So this is looking out at the next week and a half to almost 2 weeks. But watch this particular area right there. You could see something developing and moving up toward the Florida Panhandle. And that is what we were watching yesterday. So as we look at the closer version, and this is the latest run of the GFS, this ran just a little while ago, indicating low pressure developing in the Yucatan Channel and then perhaps making its way closer to the Florida Panhandle. Now this is a little bit different than some of the models we were seeing yesterday that had some weak development in the same area but rode this more toward the Florida Keys and over toward Bahamas. Now one of the things that we look for is consistency from model run to model run. So this is the latest one. This is the one that ran earlier today, and you can see there's a low pressure area there on the western tip of Cuba. This is Monday going into Tuesday. We'll go back another model. This one ran last night, and again, about the same place where a low pressure would be somewhere Monday. And then this is yesterday's 18Z and the 12Z before that. So there's some consistency, so a little bit of a bite there on something that could develop in that particular area. But we'll look at the Euro, and the Euro only goes out 7 days. So this is the outside window. And to tell you the truth, 7 days is still really the outside window of any accuracy. So some of these models are still kind of in la-la land beyond that 7-day forecast. But the Euro is showing some slightly lower pressures in the western part of the Caribbean, but it just doesn't seem to be as defined as what we're seeing in the earlier runs. So again, this is what the latest run looks like, showing low pressure perhaps developing in the Yucatan Channel and possibly moving up. So anything that develops during the month of June most likely would be in this particular area. Now the upper level conditions during this time frame don't really look that great for development, but the water temperatures and the tropical cyclone heat potential is there. So right now there's not a lot of rumblings coming from the National Hurricane Center. Most of it is on social media, but as we look at more consistency, we may be talking about the possibility of something developing. But of course, this is always the time to try to get ready for hurricane season while all of the supplies are there and there are no tropical systems coming in our direction. It just makes it a lot easier on you. Well, I hope you enjoy Let's Talk Tropics. If you do, please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn those notifications on as well. And if you do, you'll know when the next time we do a live stream or Let's Talk Tropics, or when our morning show, Acadiana Weather Today, drops sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. We'll be watching those thunderstorms across North Louisiana. Hopefully those are going to stay away. I know many of you have had enough of these bigger thunderstorms. Not only have we had a lot of rain, but the severe weather to go along with it too. So hopefully we'll see some changes. But we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll post you on social media if anything gets closer, and if things start to look severe, we'll go ahead and run the live stream a little bit later this afternoon. For now, I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you on Wednesday.